All right, so today we're stepping onto, literally the foundation of our homes, flooring.
Yeah.
And we're going to zero in on one type in particular, luxury vinyl tile, or LVT.
Okay.
Which I think most people know as that just fantastic blend of you get the style, you get the toughness, and you get the waterproofing.
Absolutely.
All wrapped up in just like a huge array of looks and finishes these days.
Yeah. It's amazing how far it's come, isn't it?
It is.
It really is. And for this deep dive, you've dug up some really interesting insights from flooring365.co.uk.
Yeah.
They're giving us a little preview, an early look at the key LVT trends they're anticipating for 2025.
Yeah. So think of this as your personal briefing on what's next in the world of LVT.
I like that.
So our mission here is to extract the most important and exciting developments for the year ahead and give you a real head start in understanding the styles and the practical considerations that'll be big news.
Awesome.
Okay. So let's unpack the first trend they're highlighting, which is the return of warmth. So what do you make of this?
Well, it's interesting to observe this distinct move away from the cooler grays and whites that have dominated interior design for a while.
Yeah.
And it really does appear that there is a significant shift towards embracing warmer, more earth-toned palettes in LVT.
Right.
It almost makes you wonder if this reflects a broader cultural desire for comfort and security in our homes.
Oh, interesting.
A move away from that stark minimalism that we were seeing.
Yeah, absolutely.
In a while.
And they point to specific examples like honey oak, soft walnut, and golden beech. And just hearing those names, I mean, it just, immediately makes you think of a really inviting space.
Yes, absolutely.
It sounds like these shades are specifically intended to create that cozy and welcoming atmosphere.
Yeah.
And not just in one room of the house, they're talking about throughout our homes. So you might be wondering how this return to warmth trend could impact your next renovation project.
Right. And if we connect this to the bigger picture, it strongly aligns with this ongoing nature-inspired design trend as well.
I see.
Flooring365.co.uk specifically notes that their customers are increasingly drawn to these richer, more organic and grounded tones.
Yeah.
It suggests a desire to bring more of the natural world inside.
Right.
And cultivate spaces that feel more connected to it.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. I mean, it's the kind of feeling you'd naturally want in living rooms and bedrooms.
Absolutely.
That sense of comfort, that personal sanctuary. But they also specifically mentioned kitchens.
Oh, wow.
And that's intriguing to me.
I know.
Because, it's bringing that inherent warmth into a space that we often associate primarily with utility and function.
That's true.
Right.
That's a good point.
So what do you make of that?
Well, it raises an important point about how we perceive the different rooms within our homes. Perhaps there's a growing trend towards making even the most practical spaces feel a bit more nurturing and less clinical.
Interesting. So let's delve into trend number 2, which is enhanced realism in textures.
Okay.
Now, we all know that one of the major advantages of LVT is its ability to mimic the look of real wood and stone.
Yes.
But it sounds like they're pushing the boundaries even further.
They are.
So tell me about that.
An interesting aspect of this trend is the increasing emphasis on the tactile experience.
Okay.
It's moving beyond just visually resembling wood or stone.
Right.
It's now about creating a surface that feels more like the real thing, too.
I see.
And the rising popularity of things like hand-scraped finishes, socket detailing, and embossed grain effects really underscores this.
Oh, I can just imagine the added dimension that kind of texture would bring underfoot.
Absolutely.
It must really enhance the overall character of the flooring.
It does.
But the fantastic thing is you still retain all the practical advantages that make LVT so appealing, right?
You do.
Things like easy cleaning and that all-important scratch resistance.
Precisely.
And that's key.
And if we connect this to the bigger picture, it's about achieving a high level of aesthetic appeal without having to compromise on practicality.
Right.
So for homeowners with pets, children, or areas that see a lot of foot traffic, which, let's face it, covers a significant portion of us.
Yeah.
This textured realism offers a remarkable balance.
Yeah.
You can achieve the beautiful look you desire while still having the durability that you require.
So how close are these textures really getting?
Oh, they're getting very good.
Yeah.
I mean, are there still telltale signs that it's LVT rather than real wood or stone upon closer inspection?
I think so, yeah. I think if you really get down and look at it, you can tell.
Yeah, you can.
But yeah, it's It's pretty amazing how far it's come.
Absolutely.
Okay, so it's about having your cake and eating it too.
Yes.
Style and practicality working hand in hand.
I like that.
Okay, let's smoothly transition to trend number 3, the appeal of extra-wide planks.
Okay.
This sounds like it could really impact the visual flow of a room.
Absolutely.
What do you think?
Historically, wide plank flooring has often been associated with luxury and more expansive spaces. And it's worth noting how LVT is making this aesthetic more widely accessible by expanding their product lines to include these wider and longer planks.
Yeah.
They're enabling more homeowners to achieve that sense of openness and inherent elegance.
And it's not just reserved for large open-plan houses anymore, is it?
No, it's not.
They specifically point out that wide planks can be particularly effective in smaller rooms, helping to make the space feel larger and create a more seamless look.
It's a clever visual trick.
It is. So by using wider planks in smaller rooms, are we essentially playing with visual perception?
Right.
How does that actually work to make a room feel larger?
We are.
Okay.
If we connect this to the bigger picture, it reflects a growing desire for cleaner, more expansive visual lines within our interiors. The fewer visible seams, the more uninterrupted the surface appears, allowing the eye to travel more freely, creating that illusion of spaciousness. And this increasing interest in wide plank LVT for areas like hallways and open plan kitchens really highlights this desire for a cohesive and high-end feel without necessarily incurring the high costs associated with traditional wide plank hardwood.
I love that. Achieving a high-end look without the premium price tag. Me too. Now, trend number 4 is something of a classic, making a significant resurgence. Yes. The resurgence of parquet patterns, with a particular emphasis on herringbone and chevron layouts.
It's very on trend.
It is.
An interesting development here is how these traditionally intricate and sophisticated wood flooring patterns are being reinterpreted in the highly practical format of LVT.
I see.
So for those of you who appreciate the timeless elegance of parquet, but have genuine concerns about moisture, particularly in areas such as hallways, entryways, and bathrooms, LVT herringbone and chevron patterns offer a truly compelling solution.
It really does sound like the ideal combination, doesn't it? You get that wonderfully sophisticated, almost architectural detail that a parquet floor provides, but with the crucial water resistance and overall durability that LVT is known for. I can certainly see why that would hold such broad appeal for so many people.
Exactly. It empowers homeowners to introduce that element of classic design and visual interest into spaces where traditional wood flooring might simply not be the most sensible or long-lasting choice. This raises an important question about how we can effectively blend enduring design aesthetics with modern high-performance materials to achieve optimal functionality and style throughout our homes.
Definitely a key consideration for any home project.
Absolutely.
Okay, let's transition to trend number 5, which focuses on the surface appearance. The move towards natural look finishes. So it sounds like those ultra-glossy floors might be stepping out of the spotlight.
Yeah, I think that's generally the direction we're observing. One of the key drivers of this trend appears to be a shift away from those highly reflective, almost mirror-like surfaces towards more understated matte and low sheen options. This really signals a desire for a flooring look that feels more natural, more authentic, and ultimately more contemporary underfoot.
And it's not purely about aesthetics either, is it?
No.
They specifically mention a very practical advantage. These more subdued matte finishes tend to be much more forgiving when it comes to concealing everyday dust, dirt, and minor scuffs.
Absolutely.
Speaking personally, as someone who definitely notices every speck of dust, I can absolutely see the appeal of that.
Oh, yeah. If we connect this to the bigger picture, it suggests a broader move towards a more refined and understated elegance in our interior design choices. The emphasis shifts away from a high-shine, sometimes almost artificial appearance towards something that feels more organic, more grounded, and ultimately more lived in and comfortable. And the fact that flooring365.co.uk is reporting such strong demand for matte finish LVT and has concrete plans to expand their offerings in this area for 2025 really underscores the strength and importance of this particular trend.
Practical benefits wrapped in a stylish package sounds like a winning combination.
Definitely.
All right, trend number 6 is quite innovative creative space definition with mixed layouts. This sounds like a really interesting way to play with the flooring to define different areas within a home.
It is, and what's particularly noteworthy here is this concept of intentionally using different LVT layout patterns to visually delineate distinct zones within open-plan living spaces.
I see.
The specific example they provide of seamlessly transitioning from traditional parallel planks in a kitchen area to a herringbone pattern in an adjoining dining space is a perfect and very clear illustration of this technique in action.
That's such a clever and subtle way to create a sense of individual rooms without actually having to install any physical barriers like walls. So you can essentially define different functional areas within a larger space without the need for structural changes or even relying on things like area rugs.
Exactly, and it's a particularly practical and effective benefit in modern open-plan home designs.
Right.
It allows for that desirable sense of a continuous flow throughout the living space.
Yeah.
While still providing clear visual cues that you are transitioning from one functional area to another. This really highlights the inherent versatility of LVT as a material that can adapt to and enhance contemporary living styles.
Right.
And the fact that flooring365.co.uk even offers dedicated assistance with planning these kinds of layout transitions suggests they recognize this as a significant trend that many homeowners will be eager to explore.
That's fantastic customer support.
It is.
It definitely makes the idea of trying something a bit more creative and visually dynamic with your flooring feel much less daunting and more achievable.
Absolutely.
Okay, finally we arrive at trend number 7, and this is one that is of increasing importance to so many people: growing focus on eco-friendly options.
This is indeed a critical and increasingly significant development within the industry.
Yeah.
What's particularly encouraging here is seeing how the growing public awareness and concern for environmental sustainability is directly influencing the flooring industry. Manufacturers are clearly responding to homeowners' strong desire for more environmentally conscious product choices by offering LVT options that incorporate a greater percentage of recycled content.
Right.
And utilize adhesives with significantly lower levels of volatile organic compounds, or VOCs.
And just for complete clarity for anyone listening who might not be familiar with that term, VOCs are chemicals that can be released into the air and can have negative impacts on indoor air quality.
Exactly.
So lower levels are definitely preferable.
Absolutely.
It's so reassuring to hear that knowing that you can choose a flooring option that not only looks fantastic and performs well, but is also a more responsible choice for the planet definitely adds another layer of appeal and satisfaction to the decision.
Absolutely. If we connect this to the broader societal shift, it truly reflects a growing movement towards valuing sustainability in all facets of our lives. And that certainly includes the materials we choose for our homes.
Yeah.
And when you thoughtfully combine these specific eco-friendly innovations in LVT production with LVT's inherent advantages of a long lifespan and relatively low maintenance requirements, it becomes an even more compelling and responsible flooring choice overall.
Definitely a trend that I think we can all wholeheartedly support.
Agreed.
So as we wrap up our deep dive today, it sounds like LVT flooring in 2025 is really hitting that sweet spot where cutting-edge style seamlessly integrates with exceptional practicality.
It is.
We're seeing a truly fantastic range of options emerging to suit just about every conceivable aesthetic preference and every type of home and lifestyle.
That's perfectly summarized. We've explored the welcoming return of warmer tones.
Yeah.
The remarkable advancements in creating truly authentic textures. The growing popularity of those elegant and expansive extra-wide planks, the timeless appeal of classic parquet layouts reimagined in vinyl, the move towards more natural and forgiving matte finishes, the exciting creative possibilities offered by mixed layout designs, and crucially, that ever-increasing focus on meaningful eco-friendly innovations.
It's been a truly fascinating deep dive into what we can expect underfoot in the coming year.
It has.
Considering all of these evolving trends, it really makes you think, what specific aspects of flooring truly resonate most with you as you consider your current or future home projects? Is it the initial aesthetic impact, the long-term practicality for a busy household, or that growing and vital importance of environmental sustainability?
Absolutely.
It's definitely given me a lot to consider about how all of these different factors interplay in shaping the spaces we live in and enjoy every day.
Indeed, it's no longer just about what visually appeals to us, but increasingly about what feels right for our individual lifestyles and aligns with our broader values and priorities. And the dynamic way these trends are evolving really offers a diverse range of compelling options for everyone to thoughtfully consider as they plan their next flooring endeavor.
Great stuff. Well, thanks so much for joining me on this deep dive, and we'll see you next time.
Sounds good.
All right, bye-bye.
Free audio post-production by alphonic.com.